Thank you, Frederick. Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be opening this session for bridges, and I'll be closing, so stay tuned. So this session is going to be bridge design with Tekla Structures, new features for bridge designers. Right, this new uh, pinch of salt here because lots of the stuff it's not new. So my hope is that we have some tools that you don't know about, and if you find one new tool that you don't know about, that's not new. So um, I tick the box. So this new is not everything new. Might be new for you, and we want to highlight some stuff that we have. My name is Gabriel Neves. I know many of you. I have no idea who is online, but I know many of you, and I know you know me too. So I work for Trimble for 7 years, something like that, and I'm here with Tekla just to push for us bridge modelers and detailers to have tools that can do our job properly. So we're going to have two pools on this session. One should be appearing right now. If that thing works, I think is live. And then the other one in the end. So I'm not going to use the 30 minutes schedule for this session. It's a big surprise for the ones that know me. But this is going to be a little bit fast, going over the new stuff. So what I ask is, as soon as you question comes to your mind, just write it. Right, even if you write in the paper and then uh, later you type the question, because between slides you might not have much time to process. So if you are curious with one of the tools, just write immediately. Tell me more about that tool or something like that. Some simple stuff. So let's start here. So just two things for the table of contents, the tools, and then questions. Super simple, this presentation. Disclaimer, I'm going to be showing something that is going to be released only on 2026. So you cannot make a decision to buy more licenses or to buy Tekla based on what I'm showing. So you've been warned. So this is the disclaimer that this is necessary. And you're used to that. So every time we show a sneak peek and so on of some tools, you need to take that into consideration, that at any moment we could decide not to release the stuff that hasn't been released yet. So let's start with that. Bridge Creator as a plugin. So many of you are using Bridge Creator. You know that you need to save files. So from 2026 version, Bridge Creator is a plugin, which means you don't need to save files anymore. So I think this is great. I'm going to show the video. So here, this deck was created with Bridge Creator, and you see that I still can save files, but if I double click the objects, just will pop up Bridge Creator with all the information there. And I think this is a massive, massive improvement. It's quite safe because even when I'm playing with Bridge Creator, sometimes I forget to save, and then that means I cannot recover the object any longer. So from 2026, that problem is solved, and there are more things that we are improving based on your comments and requests, and we have a massive list of small things that we are improving into this tool that's getting better and better. So let's go to the next slide. Break line importer. Someone, and probably you are online, asked, hey, I have the land XML, and usually we have the alignment inside the land XML, but not this time. This time we have something called break lines inside the land XML. Right, if you want to use that, we couldn't. So because Bridge Creator couldn't read break lines, right? Now you can. So a small extension that you download from warehouse. Oh, just a second, I knew this will happen eventually. So let's go back here and play first, maximize after. Right, opening the extension, we import the land XML. This land XML only has break lines, not alignments. Um, and then the extension will convert those break lines to Tekla structures. Then you do whatever you want with it, right? So good luck, but you asked for it, now you have it. So here we need to define the base point, obviously. and then we can define the class and the type line type, and then all this stuff here are break lines. So eventually then with Bridge Creator, you can convert those break lines into Bridge Creator feature lines, and then do something with it, or even take it maybe to Rhino or Grasshopper, through Grasshopper, right? So uh, just a second here. Break line, and now matchcast. So matchcast, uh, it's a tool that since now Bridge Creator can place components along the alignment, let's say those precast concrete segments of viaduct, then the segments are orthogonal, right? But the rule says that one of the faces it's not orthogonal because it needs to match the next face or the previous face, wherever you're going to see that. So what this extension does is using the fitting, but in automatic way. Instead of going one by one, fit, and so on, this stuff, you select all the objects, and then let's maximize this. Oh, come on again. This is not. So looks like I'm going to use all my time. Okay, better. So here, Rich Creator places all these objects, right? And then we have the components. They are quite smart inside Tekla Structures, but you see, because we have a curve, in this side, the objects, they superimpose. The other side, they are far away from each other. So the extension is just selecting the objects and then say forward or backward, depending which side you want to match against the next side or the previous side. So here I'm selecting some objects, and I'm saying, okay, let's do it forward. I identify the objects, and then I just say match. Not rocket science, it's just applying the fitting, Tekla fitting into the Tekla component. But it's quite useful, save lots of time. And this is already used in Southeast Asia. So hopefully here in Europe, you can start using that. So here I'm doing backward because it's the same object, but now I need to go, I want to match the same direction, which means I need to go backward, right? So select that, forward. Yeah. Now, project coordinate reference system, aka CRS attribute inserter. So this was a request from US, and I think here in Europe, mainly in north of Europe, it's going to be very welcome too. For the ones that don't know, the looks like our planet is not flat, right? So it's round, which means then the surveyors, they need to do some calculations because the model in Tekla then when goes for implementation setting out points is different. They need to take into consideration the coordinate reference system, where it is placed within that coordinate reference system, and this kind of very complex stuff. What this tool does is connecting to Trimble geodetic library that has all the data of the world and is always being updated, and then brings 82 attributes into the Tekla model. What is that doing to the Tekla model? Zero. It's not doing anything to the model. It's just saving attributes. So later we can export those UDAs inside the IFC. If you go to Quadri, you have that information. If you go to Trimble Connect, you have that information. Trimble Business Center, you have that information. So now Tekla has that information. Let me highlight that we are not converting any of the Tekla objects for that situation of the planet is round, right? It's just saving attributes. So could that be useful? In USA, they think that that was super important. In Europe, let's see. So let's have a peek on that. Maximize this. It's always happening that. So I'm is not more stubborn than me, right? So play, maximize. Now it's okay. So let's put from the beginning. So I open the extension and now I choose for this bridge. I know it's in Brazil. They gave me the information that is Sirgas 2000. I could check that in Quadri. I could check that in Trimble Connect. And then the zone is 24S. And now I'm going to have attributes. It's lots and lots of attributes. These attributes are always updated. At Trimble, we have one team just doing that for the world. So now we save 82 attributes inside the model, and we can do whatever we want with those. So, but the great advantage is, did you know that if we have a point cloud from the 80s, we need to insert a point cloud with a combined factor? And that combined factor, let me stop the video here. If I go on time, stop. Yeah. That combined factor depends where is our project base point. So in reality, if we have a viaduct with 2 kilometers, the scaling at the beginning of the viaduct of the point cloud, it will be different from the scaling of the end of the viaduct. So we get here a compromise. So if the project base point is in the middle of the point cloud, then we get a combined factor. So that is as far as we go. We are not scaling, which is called non-uniform scaling, which is crazy to do that in Tekla. We're not doing that, but we can get a combined factor from the Trimble geodetic library that depends of the coordinate reference system and depends on the project base point. And then we insert the point cloud, uh, reusing that combined factor, which we could copy paste and insert the point cloud in a traditional way. So it's just if they're doing that or someone is doing that, could do everything inside that tool. If not, you just do that naturally. So if I go to the next one, now, import base point from KML, because at Trimble we are very near the construction, as you know, and all the the exports we do for the rebar and for the CNC machines and steel work and the setting out points and the total stations and so on. And here it's something very important. When we start our bridge with Tekla, someone went already on site and they took site control points, and probably they did the survey and then the road and all that. So when the stuff gets to us, we already have really important information. In my time, we were using the BIM execution plan, and the project base point was there, right? So here, what this tool does is, if the surveyor took points along the bridge, right, and those points are known from the beginning of the bridge, the project until the very end of the project, why not use one of those points as the project base point? So the only thing we need to do is to ask the surveyor, export the points, the site control points, as a KML file. And now Tekla can use that. So let's see that. It's going to do it again. So I'll keep it small now. So I'm loading the KML file. I pick this point Penco Brazil as a project base point, and then I'm not typing any numbers. I save. When I save, this is saved as project base point in Tekla, and is going to be active. So it's a different way. Probably the BIM execution plan should say the project base point is the site control point named whatever, right? So it's just one more small tool that can help the workflow and is directly connected with the construction. So next one. Oh, Google Slides. So let's keep doing that way. Project Info Checker. So probably this is the simplest tool ever created with API. So originated in the US because a US need, because there is a new unit in Tekla Structures just for United States, even not for Canada, just for the United States, that is US survey fit. And that unit is only controlled in the advanced properties, which means the users, they don't know if the unit is active or not. So this tool just going to show very quickly what is the model unit active in the model, if has already attributes for the CRS, and what is a project point, project base point active in the model. So let's see that. It's just that, very simple. So this was a couple of hours developing this just for peace of mind of the user, and mainly in US. Of course, you can use it here in Europe, but that was the reason of this small tool. So next one, Quadri Connector. So many of you maybe you are not using because you're doing stuff with Tekla and all that, doing the bridges and the underpasses and all that, but you might have Quadri in your office, right? And when I play around, and you know that I'm not hands-on any longer, but I absolutely adore the possibility to go to Quadri, create the tasks just for me, and I'm not dependent on the road designer to give me the data. So I go there, it's super simple to learn, at least that bit for us. So we create the tasks, we put whatever information we want inside that task, and then we go to Tekla, Quadri connector, that connects with Quadri and bring the data to Tekla structures. So when I finish the bridge, I have an empty task inside Quadri that is waiting to receive my bridge. So I'm not dependent on the road designer to have time to send me a land XML file. And then that land XML file maybe is not updated. And if the stuff it's inside Quadri is the latest information. So we always can update that. So let's see if this video works better when I maximize. Yes. So here in Quadri, I'm creating a task. And you see that I don't need all these red roads. So I'm unselecting the side road, and now I save the task. In Tekla Structures, I go to the Quadri connector. I need I have two tasks. I'm going to pick these roads to Tekla, and then be careful because you could have lots of stuff. So create your phase and then put the information into different phases, or your model is going to be very dirty because you really can overwhelm Tekla with information. So here I'm just putting the road alignments inside this phase 40. Choose the base point and press import. So this could take a while, and of course the video is accelerated, but it's quite cool. We have the latest information from Quadri, which is the latest information from the project. So now I'm going to bring surfaces, and once again, no way, I did it in the past, in the very beginning, and then I regretted, kind of import everything at the same time. It's mental. It's going to take ages, and then it's going to be everything into the same phase, right? Then you take ages just to move things around to have a clean model. So as you can see, we can bring the hard rock, the surface, the water, drainage, fence, everything that is inside the road project, we can bring to Tekla Structures. And this bit here, I like it because then later when we have the bridge, we can apply materials into all these items, so the surfaces, and then even do some nice visualization. Now, grasshopper component. Of course, this is not new. This is just here because then I'll have the opportunity to share an idea. That is, many of you are just using grasshopper Tekla, just that, right? But I spoke with top engineering companies, and what they are doing nowadays is trying to divide and don't have all the eggs into one basket. So they might have the grasshopper colleagues doing the scripts, but then they want people doing maybe with Bridge Creator and using Tekla with the Grasshopper inside. So because some people they don't know Grasshopper, but they can use Grasshopper. And here is just one of many examples. So it's not going to happen. I'll keep it like that. So with the Grasshopper inside Tekla, the user, pretending this user doesn't know anything about Grasshopper, he still can use Grasshopper. And here just going to do some excavation because it has a surface. And then these plates, they simulate the base where our foundations are going to be. And then Grasshopper does all those calculations, excavation, and gives results. And this is one of 1,000 examples of we can use. So the idea is not to promote Grasshopper, is to promote the idea of we can separate and have small scripts and still keep tied. And I can use Grasshopper without knowing Grasshopper, right? So was just that is why it's here. And again, it's not new, as I said in the beginning. Next one, why is doing this? Right, so slideshow again. Land XML surface importer. Right. So one of you asked, that, hey, can I have the break lines from LandXML? And then, without anyone asking, I was thinking, right, if we can bring already the alignments and we can bring the break lines, why not bring the surfaces instead of going through Grasshopper or Rhino, having the surface and then bringing the surface to Tekla? If the LandXML has a surface, let's have it, right? So super useful, I guess. Uh, I open the LandXML surface creator. I import the file with surfaces. I found out sometimes we have surfaces on top of each other. Doesn't matter. I imported everything. So we have here 10 surfaces, and I can preview. I pick the project base point, and then I just go and create. So I didn't use the preview here on this video. I just create, and now I have the surfaces. So these are items, and I use this item, you can recognize, to do the excavation example, right? And you see that how they are superimposed. So, but it's not a big deal. We can then clean and just keep the surface we want, right? So again, super fast, as I said in the beginning. So we have maybe 30 seconds each video, but so let's see if I can move. Yeah, but I think it is good for you to see. Okay, it's fast and furious, but quite useful, I guess. Road line converter. So convert any bridge creator or quadri feature line into a Tekla poly curve. I guess lots of you, let's say we have a bridge and the main road line is from a highway with 10 kilometers. And then we bring the land XML or we convert that with Quadri, we bring from Quadri, or even with Bridge Creator, we convert that. And then our bridge is 800 meters. And then we have lines of 10 kilometers. So I don't like that. So the idea is, why not, if I have those 10 kilometers, I just want to convert the road feature line from Quadri or Bridge Creator into a smaller one. And I control the start station or chainage and the end station, right? So let's see that. And hopefully this, no, it's not going to do it. So here, what I'm doing is opening the tool. I already have a massive center line and left and right lines, and I pick the bridge creator feature line or quadri feature line. I change to meters. I'm not changing the units. I just changing the visual because it's easier to type 4 numbers instead of lots of numbers in millimeters. And I want the chainage to be 1470 to 1670, right? And then I can convert that into XY plan, which can be useful later on the next slide, or in 3D. And if I do it in 3D, then I need to convert that one with Bridge Creator back to a road line. But now I know the station. And then I can delete the other ones, and my model occupies less space. Is this useful? You tell me. I think it is. So this extension came from the need of the next extension. All right. So but then I think it's quite useful for other applications. Uh, okay. Right, section views along path. So this is an old workaround for one of the trickiest things we have in bridges, and we have many, which is when we have a snake viaduct or a bridge or viaduct getting with a clutoid, and then we need to do that GA and the developed elevation on top of the GA, and is always complicated. So we have this extension that we start in the model. We have a 3D polycurve in Tekla, and then the extension based on a drawing with one plan only is going to put lots of views side by side to do that developed elevation, right? But the problem is, remember when I said we might have 10 kilometers of that road, right? But I want a shorted one. I don't want 200 views side by side, right? I can handle 80, but not 200. So I want a polycurve smaller, and I don't want to pick, I don't know, 100 times along the clotoid to create my line. So Bridge Creator has a line. This extension gives as the small line. And as you've seen before. So now when we get into the extension, we have already the short line. As I said, we're going to use that. I'm going to pick we could pick the 3D, but I'm going to pick the 2D. So now I'm going to look north, and then here just to see the crop view. Eventually I say generate views. So it's a GA with just one plan. And now I'm going to have maybe 80 or something like that views side by side. So here then I don't touch this drawing. So I have the developed view as you're going to see. So first the plan. So when you create the plan, it's just that, don't touch the plan. And then somewhere here, we have the developed view, right? This is a workaround. No one likes this, but it's possible to do it. So now don't do anything here. It will take ages just to select these views. We just copy the view to a new GA, and that will be kind of as a reference, which means if we need to move the view around, we have the main view because it was copied, and we can move that. And then with Tekla 25, now we can place dimensions across views. With the older versions of Tekla, we couldn't. We still have something annoying, that is the handle sometimes is not going exactly to the point we want. So we need to do what I'm going to do now with the video, zoom. So you place the dimension, then you zoom, and you say, hey, stubborn, go to that intersection. And that's it, right? So again, is not a beautiful solution. It's a workaround. And this is how we do bridges. Sometimes we need to do the workaround. Plus, how, how long would take to do this elevation, right? We do it once and that's it. It's done. So, and it's possible. So I invite you to try this extension. So it's there at the warehouse. It's not new at all, maybe 2, 3 years old, but use it with the trick that I just gave you. So create one and then move the view to a new GA, and then it's much easier to manipulate that. Right, so I think questions. Right, are you having the second poll? Uh, I think it's live already 8 minutes ago. So the first one was about, please tell me which tool you're using to do bridges, Bridge Creator, Grasshopper, or everything is valid, right? And now the second poll is from all these extensions, which one do you think is the coolest, or the one you're going to use more, or whatever? Just vote in something. And then meanwhile, hopefully, because we have time, you just type some questions, and Frederick will help me
Yes, I
with
have a
that.
we have a question here, so that's good. We have 2.5 minutes to go, so that's perfect. So the question is: do you have plans to improve the sketch profile in Tekla? It seems rather old-fashioned.
I have no idea. I'm not going to pretend I know. I know that it's from the 80s, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Sorry.
That was the question we have now, but I can see that the people has also voted now in the polls. And remember to, when you vote for the polls, to also send it so we got answers.
Right. Do we have results already for the audience is modeling bridges with Bridge Creator, Tekla out of the box tools, or
Yeah,
Grasshopper? Do you have results
yeah,
already? Do you mind
yeah.
to
The result. Yeah, I can. It should be shared, but uh, Grasshopper component is 40%. Bridge Creator is 20%, and then it's a mix of the rest.
All right.
Section view along path is also 20%.
Okay.
And which tool you're using to model bridges? Then Grasshopper is 50%, and it's around 20 people who has voted for that one. And then it's a mix of Tekla out of the box, Bridge Creator, and also a mix of all above.
All right. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I'm happy with the result. I will be happy with any result, right? But I'll be very disappointed, kind of zero for Bridge Creator, right? Because we're putting lots of effort on that tool, right? And I think more you use, the better, because then I get more emails saying why we cannot do this way, right? Because then is the only way for the tool to evolve is you using it, and then you hammer us, and then we develop further, right? So that's the way forward, all right? Um,
So, so I will say thank you to Gabriel. And if you have any questions, please email us. And now we will have a 20 or 15 minutes break, and then we will be back in 10:40 with the next session.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining, and thank you, Gabriel.
Thank you. Bye.